And hello and welcome everyone to the comic multiverse where the worlds of nerd meet. As always, I am your host Joel. Oh, a little sleepy this week, Matt. I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah,
it's been a rough one.
it has been. I worked a 38-hour week this week, so I'm pretty tired.
That's that's right. I guess we both are. I've been running around doing Christmas stuff. I got a funeral on Monday, and you got a new job now. You got a new thing you're doing.
Yeah. So I didn't get to a lot of the comics I wanted to this week, but I still got a couple done.
That's fine. Same with me. It was a lighter load for me this week too. That being said, most of what I read I really enjoyed.
Same.
And also there was a Tom King book this week too.
Which we'll get to.
Which you better believe we'll get to, Matt. But we actually have a whole biggin list here of news this week. There was actually a fair amount of topics, mostly trailers. There were some big ass trailers that dropped.
Yeah, big trailers.
Big. I guess we'll start off with probably the biggest one, the Mac Daddy, the one that finally came out after many people pissing and moaning. When's it coming out? When can we see it? I'm like, why? Why will the trailer for Avengers 4 make a big difference? Or are you really on the fence about whether or not you're gonna see it?
Yeah, you gotta see it regardless of a trailer. They could not release any trailer and you'd still go see the film.
If there was ever a movie like Disney Marvel could just rock start. They like, okay, here's the trailer, comes out in a month.
Yeah.
Go fucking see it. And everyone would be like, okay, whatever you say, Mr. Disney. But yes, we got Avengers 4, officially titled Avengers Endgame.
Yeah, and I like as well that they didn't reveal the title in the official trailer. Like they just called, like I think on the website, like it was just called the Avengers trailer, and and they didn't reveal it until the end of the actual trailer, which was pretty cool. But then, of course, comic book websites and whatnot all just completely like fuck that up.
What does it mean, Matt? What does Endgame mean, you think? It's pretty self-explanatory.
It means it might be the end of the game.
Or at least the end for most of these actors.
Yeah.
But not all of them. At least the original ones, which yeah, that's fitting. And yes, before people say, yeah, I probably would have enjoyed it too if they called it like the Thanos Imperative or the Infinity Crusade or something like that. But Endgame is fine too.
Yeah.
Again, the title didn't matter that much. People were still going to see it regardless. They could call it
Yeah.
Avengers 4, put your butt in the seat, asshole.
Yeah, fuck you, give us money.
Yeah, Avengers 4. You want to see what happened after the snap? Eh.
Yeah, Avengers 4, the search for more money.
More Avengers 4. Will this one make $2 billion? Let's see. But yeah, let's actually talk about the trailer proper. It's pretty sad and pretty dour, as you would imagine it would be when half the universe got blinked out of existence.
Yeah, it teases just that right amount where you don't know what the story will be, but you kind of get a little bit of a hint about what it will be. It'll obviously be the heroes trying to come back together after half the universe being blinked out of existence.
I do love Thanos just kind of still chilling on that tropical planet that he's on. He's made a scarecrow out of his armor and he's just walking through fields like friggin' Russell Crowe and Gladiator.
Yeah, he's set up a good business in the farming industry. He's taken over the farming industry of the
he's he's
universe.
l- he's literally become Farmer Thanos from the comics.
Yeah, exactly.
I like it. We finally got there. We finally got to retired Farmer Thanos. Like, well, I did what I set out to do. Got to take up a new hobby now. Mostly I'm drinking. Life's really boring after you blink everything out of existence, or half of everything.
Yeah.
I guess the other two huge things, we finally get to see Hawkeye make the transformation into Ronin.
Yeah, that was cool. It's very obvious that his family was
Got
snapped.
disappeared.
So I saw someone was like, what if it wasn't his family? What if his like bow and arrow got snapped?
Oh no, not my bow and
No,
arrow.
my treasured possessions.
It's so cool that Ronin is A in the movie and B Ronin looks as badass as he does.
Yeah, he looks really cool.
Looks really great, and I think too they managed to actually find a really solid reason as why Hawkeye should become Ronin, and that is, hey, he lost his family probably, so he's in a darker, edgier mood, but also, hey, I'm sure with half of the universe blinked away on Earth, that's going to lead to a lot of chaos and a lot of crime, and they're going to need a hero out there to deal with this shit.
Yeah, lots of and he looks like he's in I guess Japan or something, dealing with yakuza or something, which is cool.
Yep. Always nice. I wonder too if it's like it's going to be a big moment when he's like, okay, I need to go back to being Hawkeye now, or if they'll just keep the Ronin suit around, because that was always the best thing about Ronin in the comics. It was an up for grabs identity. Anyone could just kind of have it if they needed it.
Yeah, well, I think maybe that he'll probably stay in the costume. Maybe near the end they'll go back to the classic Hawkeye costume. I wish they went back to the one he had in was it Age of Ultron, the coat. I like that one.
That was a fun one. I like that one too. The other big takeaway from this is that the movie really seems to be saying, "Hey, remember Ant-Man, the Avenger that never really was an Avenger but was, and who you never gave a lot of credit for because his movies were always kind of like, palate cleansers in between the big ones. Well, what if we told you Ant-Man Scott Lang was going to be the most important person ever?"
Kind of makes sense though. Kind of makes sense. He turns up there. He's got the Econoline van that has that quantum tunnel thing in that. So I guessing maybe that's how he gets back. Like somehow gets back through that quantum tunnel that we saw at the end of Ant-Man and the Wasp or something. But yeah, he's definitely going to be very important because of that quantum time travel aspect.
Thing.
Since we've seen set photos about what will happen with that.
Which I'm very fascinated about too, the prospects that this is going to be a time travel piece and that we're going to revisit almost like this movie is its own greatest hits collection of other awesome moments from the Avengers series over the last decade.
Yeah, I actually had a theory that because we see Captain America in this trailer, and he's got rid of the beard, he's back to like his normal hairstyle, but he's also wearing his Winter Soldier stealth suit. And I'm wondering if is that like a scene where they're back in time and he's back in like Winter Soldier, like that part of the timeline, and he's got to pretend to be Steve of that part of the timeline.
Oh, that'd be fun.
To like get somewhere or something. That'd be pretty cool.
Kind of like on The Flash this week, which was also a time travel clip show episode where we have to walk back through our lives but also not make it look like we're from the future.
Yeah, that was a good episode as well.
That was a good episode. Again, it was a glorified clip show, but it was a good solid premise for a clip show.
Yeah. But no,
and also,
yeah. Well, go ahead.
Or no, you go ahead. I was done.
I was gonna say, it looks really cool what they're doing with Steve and I guess Black Widow, their sort of stuff, since they seem to be like the only two around, or at least the only two shown in the Avengers facility, which is all overgrown and everything, which is really cool.
Which we're picking up with this an undetermined amount of time later.
Long enough for grass to grow.
Long enough for grass to grow, man. I tell you about it. I like Thor. Thor looks really sad and defeated because he no doubt blames himself for everything that went wrong with Thanos. Because it's like, man, if you just hit a little higher, if you just tried to cut his arm off instead of stab him in the chest, all of this would have been fine.
Yeah. I'm interested to see what his story is going to be like. That's going to be very interesting. The really cool thing is like obviously the Tony Stark part of the trailer, which is him recording a message on the Benatar about him probably gonna be dying.
Yeah.
Unless
him doing
someone
his own
rescues
take on
him. Someone rescues him.
Perhaps a captain was to rescue him from space.
Maybe someone named Rescue rescues him.
Oh, that'd be fun too, actually. I'm okay with that.
Well, we know Gwyneth Paltrow is gonna be Rescue in this film.
It's about goddamn time she gets a freaking suit, huh?
Yeah, but I actually was thinking about it. I'd actually really like if, like, throughout the whole film, Tony Stark isn't with anyone else. Like, he's just on this ship on his own, and then that's like the end of his story. Like, he goes off into space, and we don't know whether he dies or not. Like, we just see the ship just drift off into space, and he's just, like, left out there. And if Robert Downey wants to come back a little later on, he can come back.
It's like, how you hear the trope of like, oh, we'll put him on a bus. No, we put him on a ship, and then a North Star onward till morning. We just did that thing to him.
Yeah.
Hey, there's an alien race out there called the Stark that they found a bunch of his shit and wanted to basically become Tony Stark. So that would be fun.
Oh, that'd be really cool.
And then like the Guardians find that later, where it's like, oh shit, it's Stark Planet.
Yeah,
that'd be interesting. But yeah, that's the Avengers trailer. It's the Avengers. What more can you say?
Yeah, it was the perfect little teaser. If you don't want to see any more trailers, you don't have to.
No. This one, way more than selling the plot and what's actually happening, it sold the tone and the emotion of what's going on.
Yeah, yeah, it's all there.
Which sometimes that's all you need. And in fact, sometimes that's even better because, again, like we said, this is a movie that sounds like it's going to have time travel and like new people in armor and like a bunch of other stuff that they probably don't want to spoil yet.
No, no.
Yeah. So that was Endgame, which I think ended up kind of eclipsing the other trailer that they had this week as well, and that is, of course, the first full trailer for Captain Marvel.
Yeah, well, that's why they released Captain Marvel first.
Yeah, well, I mean, you could release anything you wanted, and it still would be eclipsed by Avengers, and like shit, it's hard to believe we're at that point now with Disney Marvel movies where it's like, our only other real competition is ourselves. Can we undercut ourselves? Let's find out by having these movies come out a month apart.
Yeah, yeah. That's like another thing. Avengers date got moved up to like literally like 3 or 4 weeks after Captain Marvel.
Yep.
Jesus.
They just won't. They're just gonna have us living in these movie theaters, Matt. That's all they want of us.
Yeah.
We don't even get a break on Christmas with all these superhero movies. Hey, you get Into the Spider-Verse, then you get Aquaman.
Yeah.
So close, but please, Mr. Hollywood superhero machine, I want to spend time with my family. Fuck your family.
No.
Go watch the adventures of spandexed individuals and undersea men. You need it. It's good for the economy. But yeah, Captain Marvel. I noticed again, and this is true in the comics, and this is just true all over the place. People weirdly have their knives out for Captain Marvel, and I don't know why. I know a lot of people, even you, Matt, were like, was she meant to be this wooden? Was she meant to be, this emotionless?
Yeah, well, yeah, it's really weird, especially because like I heard like people had seen the film. Oh, seen like snippets at like conventions and stuff, and they said, "Well, no, she's like really funny and everything." I'm like, well, maybe put some of that in the trailer as well, like do like the sort of like the dynamic where it's like, oh, this is her as Carol, but this is her as the Kree infected Vers or whatever her name is going to be.
Right. I'm of two minds on that. One, I think they're trying to sell her in the trailers, at least, being like, no, she's not your standard run-of-the-mill, jokey, quippy Marvel hero. She's a little drier. She's, a little more standoffish and everything. Maybe that's not the case. I don't know. I didn't see the movie. But the other thing, and I can't take credit for this, someone else mentioned this on Twitter, and they said, hey, comic fans, nerds in general, what's Captain Marvel's personality? Because in the comics, they've changed it numerous times in the last 5 to 10 years. So what is even Carol's personality supposed to be anymore? And I'm like, I don't know.
It things.
Good point. I don't know what she's supposed to be like anymore. And maybe this is Marvel kind of doing what they did with Guardians, and that is, look, we're basically going to reinvent it from the ground up, and we're going to make it something new, and her dynamic is going to be different. And you know what? Maybe that's what she needs, and maybe that's something that can bleed over into the comics. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with someone taking a run at it.
Yeah, that would definitely be very interesting.
Sam Jackson is pretty great in the trailer, too.
Yeah.
Loves cats.
I reckon that cat's going to be the one to scratch out his eye.
Oh, that's how it goes now. That story he told in Winter Soldier, totally a fake, totally a lie to make up for the fact that the cat's
yeah. Well, the cat is an alien, so I imagine it's gonna have some issues in the movie.
Oh man, I hope he does get his eye scratched out by the cat, and I hope he hams it up like in The Spirit. I got egg on my face. I got my eye under my head. Oh no.
But no, it like looks really cool. Like all the effects and everything with Captain Marvel going binary and everything looks really cool.
Oh yes, yeah. They look to be honoring quite a few eras in her character. It's like, yeah, here's her kind of being binary, and here's her with the helmet, and here's her with all this other stuff.
That helmet looks really good, and it works as well. Like
nice.
I was afraid it wouldn't work, but it does.
It does, and I like they got a reason for it. It's like, yeah, she's a soldier. She should have a helmet.
Yeah.
Also, selling a lot of more interesting stuff with the Kree and the Skrulls. I heard an interesting theory on this, and in fact, this kind of dovetails with something we're going to talk about later. Someone had an interesting theory, and the fact that they keep stressing so hard in the trailers, oh, the Skrulls are evil, the Skrulls are bad, the Skrulls are the worst. Wouldn't it be something if they turned around in the movies and they're like, well, actually, the Skrulls aren't evil?
I think they're going to do that. Like the Kree are going to end up being the bad guys because that's kind of like how it is in the comics a little bit. Like you think like, oh, the Kree are kind of good, but then you're like, oh no, they did all this like evil shit to like the Inhumans and all this sort of stuff. But
the Kree have a lot of skeletons in their closet, and also the fact too that Ronan is is in the movie too. We know for a fact, and that would be something to see his turn from quote unquote good guy to quote unquote bad guy.
Well, you know what would be really interesting? It'd be cool if like he's kind of against all the shit the Kree do, and which kind of makes him the good guy, but he still does it like evil shit and everything. So it's kind of weird, but yeah, I like the idea that the Kree are like the evil guys, but I also like the idea that the Skrulls are evil. So it's like one's just a little bit eviler than the other, like they're no better than the Skrulls or something.
Yeah, or be like, hey, there's shades of gray here. It's hard to paint them all with the same brush.
Yeah.
It's intergalactic politics, man, I tell ya. Look, I'm just saying in the wars in space, there's good and bad on both sides, is all I'm saying. Look, there's a lot of bad Skrulls up in there. We're going to build a wall around space, keep them all out. And again, too, having a more morally gray, morally complex Skrull race for the movies actually kind of makes a bit of sense, because there's a new book coming out from Robbie Thomas soon called We Are the Skrulls, and it's Meet the Skrulls, sorry. And it's like a comedy take on a family of Skrulls living on Earth.
Yeah, that was quite interesting, and I was wondering like, oh, is it going to be a comedy, because the writer obviously did the recent Spider-Man Deadpool books.
Yes.
So like, yeah, it's like a weird comedy with the Skrulls who just have like normal lives on Earth, and yeah, that's pretty cool.
I think that's what the Marvel Universe needs too, because it's like, here's the thing: the Marvel Universe, which is always like, give people second chances, and we're stronger together, and don't judge a book by their cover. Boy, is the Marvel Universe cruel to Skrulls.
It really is.
Venom gets to eat them, and that's fine. There was a team for a while called the Skrull Kill Crew. That's just all they did. And it's like, I don't see you guys putting out an olive branch here to the Skrulls. I mean, statistically, they can't all possibly be evil. Sure, the Queen is pretty evil, and a bunch of the Super Skrulls have been pretty evil, but I mean, they can't all be evil, right? Also, too, this one seems to be playing into an idea that I have. I almost feel like I pitched this, and it's like, well, if Skrulls live on other worlds in hiding as like sleeper agents or whatever, then surely they must be, like Earthatized or Americanized or whatever you want to say. What if there were some Skrulls who were like, nah, man, I don't want to conquer Earth. I like it here. All my friends are here.
Yeah, it's pretty cool here.
Yeah, they got TV and turduckens.
All the good shit.
Skrulls love turduckens. You didn't know that, but they're big fans of it. Oh, and the Cheesecake Factory. We don't got that in space.
They keep the Cheesecake Factory open. They're the ones like funding it.
It's all a secret Skrull conspiracy. Oh man, hey, you mean you guys don't have cheesecake back on Skrull Homeworld? Yeah, we do, but it's a little different. Oh, really? What's the Skrull version of cheesecake? Super Skrull just kicks you in the nuts. Oh.
This one's much better.
I can see why you like Earth. Yeah, I'd like it too. But yeah, that's your Captain Marvel Skrull news there, everyone. But yeah, two good trailers all in 1 week. Pretty exciting.
Yeah.
There's talk too, even that by the end of the week we might get Spider-Man as well.
Yeah, we're getting like all the really good trailers. I just actually just saw a trailer before we started this called, was it Burn or something? I can't remember what it exactly is called.
The new James Gunn thing. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet, but everyone on my timeline's been talking about it.
It's basically what if Superman was a serial killer,
which is so
but as a kid.
Which is so goddamn fucking hilarious to me, where it's like, hey, James Gunn, please come and fix our Suicide Squad movie. We don't know how to do it. Okay, cool. Also, here's my other movie, which is totally making fun of the Zack Snyder Superman era of movies where he's a weird standoffish serial killer.
Yeah, the movie looks really great and actually looks pretty scary.
Yeah, yeah, sign me up for it. I'm down for it. I know some people were kind of mad too, where it's like, hey, yeah, James Gunn, he's just directing it. He didn't write it or do any of these other stuff. Can people please give credit to the other people? Okay,
Yeah.
you just love Gunn then. All right, that's fine.
Well, it's like Into the Spider-Verse. People don't seem to realize that Phil Lord and Chris Miller didn't direct that movie. They just wrote it.
Yeah, but they're giving them credit for. Heck,
Yeah.
I did it. I made that mistake. I assumed they had to. Credit is important, everyone. Credit where credit is due. Also, hey, speaking of Spider-Verse and speaking of Spider-Man, we got to see the stealth spider suit.
We did. It looks pretty cool.
Looks a lot like the Spider-Man noir suit. All he's missing is a trench coat and a hat.
We actually learnt out why he has that suit as well.
Oh, really? I didn't hear that. How come?
So Peter goes overseas with his friends for I guess like a sort of school trip sort of thing, and he leaves
That's the title, Far From Home.
He leaves the Spider-Man suit at home because he wants to take like a break from being Spider-Man after obviously Infinity War and Endgame and whatnot.
So he's got to jerry-rig a new one.
No, Nick Fury gives it to him.
Oh, shit, even better.
Because Nick Fury needs help defeating a stone and water villain.
Oh, Hydro Man?
I guess so. I'm not too sure. And apparently Mysterio ends up defeating them. He ends up playing the hero.
Oh, so they're really reimagining him almost as much as they reimagined the Vulture.
Yeah, really looking forward to it. Sounds really cool.
I was hearing too. They're saying there that like Mysterio might also be like a supportive father figure to Peter at first before he becomes a bad guy.
Yeah. Like he's gonna be kind of mentoring Peter or something.
Poor Peter Parker, man. Every older man that takes an interest in his life and tries to be a positive role model turns out to be evil.
Also, Happy Hogan is dating Aunt May.
Oh, that's fun. I like that.
Good on you, Jon Favreau.
Man, just everything's coming up Jon Favreau these days, isn't it? Oh, I get to date Marissa Tomei in these movies, and oh, look, I'm doing the Star Wars now.
Oh, look, I just made Lion King.
Yeah, oh shit, look at me. Everything's coming up Favreau. Man, you go back and you watch Bottle Rocket. Like, if you could travel back 20 years and be like, that man's going to be one of the biggest, most powerful dudes in Hollywood in 20 years.
Yeah, I'm the one responsible for the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
The sidekick in Bottle Rocket. He'd be like, oh, fuck off. No, he's not. That'd be like if you're like, hey, you know Josh Gad in movies now? Yeah, he's going to be Pope in the next 20 years. He's going to bring peace to the Middle East. 20 years. But that funny fat guy, yep, that's him. He's going to do it. You wait and see. We thank the Holy Gad for bringing peace to the Middle East and making Taco Tuesday a recognized holiday around the world.
A mandatory holiday.
Mandatory. Under fear of decapitation. You will celebrate Taco Tuesday. All peoples of all the world. You can put anything you want on the tacos, but you must have tacos every Tuesday. Now, from there to another thing they got cooking. DC, man, they're just developing movies all over the place. We heard about Zatanna and Blue Beetle last week. Well, apparently they're also developing a Plastic Man movie as well.
I won't only believe this movie is getting made when the cameras roll. The same with Shazam. The minute I see that we're starting filming, that's the only time I'll believe that. And even then, I'll still be like, it might get released.
It might. They might lose the film somewhere. It might all catch fire. Again, we're sorry, Warner Brothers. We're sorry, DC, but you guys have a bad problem with that. That, you know, if anything bad could happen, it would happen. Like, oh no, lightning struck the development truck and erased the whole movie.
Oh no, a crazy Zack Snyder got in the film and destroyed it all.
Zack Snyder, he's just in the ductwork at the DC offices. Get out of there, Zack. No, bro, I'm not gonna go, bro. You can't make me leave.
Call Animal Control.
It's over. Zack Snyder released a bunch of hungry dogs on the back lot and ate all the costumes.
uh,
If I can't do it, no one could do it, bro. No DC heroes for anybody. Christmas is canceled. But yeah, Plastic Man. I've always liked Plastic Man. I've always liked Elo Bryan. I lift an eyebrow though about them doing a movie now. It's like, but is an elongated man on TV just Plastic
I
Man?
was just about to say that they've already got a Plastic Man on TV. He's not playing, Ralph Dibny on there. He's playing
No.
Pat O'Brien.
Are they gonna fuck it around for this one and be like, oh, this Plastic Man in the movie Elo Bryan actually has a wife and they get into Murder She Wrote style adventures and they're actually super mel. It's like, God damn it, you mixed up your stretchy characters.
uh,
I like a lot of people too are being like, oh, Plastic Man, if it works, it could be much needed comedy relief and much needed, being a foil to the more serious heroes in the DC universe. And then I raise my hand. I'm like, did you already forget about Shazam?
yeah, Shazam, and even like Aquaman's a bit funny.
Mm. You've seen it, I have.
Yeah.
And I'll take your word on for it. Also, Harley Quinn, is she not also supposed to be comedic relief in this? Okay.
No, she can't be.
No, she
just be
can't
serious, serious clown woman.
I'm a serious clown woman who don't need no man except for when I do. Hey, all you serious clown women out there, we respect you in your rights to be clowns. Just, stop hanging out in forests and everything, scaring the shit out of us.
Did you hear, like, apparently for, like, the new movie Harley Quinn's in Birds of Prey or whatever the fuck it's called, apparently they're going to get rid of all of Harley's tattoos.
Really?
Or apparently there's, like, as a rumor, but apparently that, Hamada guy in charge of WB has basically said, like, the DC movies, anything the director wants is canon in the continuity. If they don't want it, they can just throw it out. If they want to keep it, you can keep it.
I mean, that's probably the best thing to do. I mean,
what a way to start a cinematic universe. If you don't like it, you don't like it.
I mean, as it stands right now, they probably do need to throw some things out, so I could appreciate that. But I'm like, you're gonna stop that, right? They're not gonna be allowed to keep doing that because that seems like that's gonna cause a lot of problems.
A lot of problems. Apparently, the actress who plays Lois Lane doesn't even know if she's gonna be in these movies anymore.
Of course not. Hey, you know how, like, in all these other things, Bruce Wayne, he's an industrialist? Well, I don't really like that. So in this one, he's going to be a baker.
Yeah, a baker mogul. He's caught at the bread market.
Makes Batman-themed bread. They're little bats and everything. All the kids love them. They're made of Hawaiian sweet rolls. Also, Batman is now Hawaiian. Okay.
A big Hawaiian dude.
Does that mean Bruce? No. Bruce is still a white guy, but Batman is Hawaiian now.
he turns into a Hawaiian man.
He turns into a big Hawaiian.
He was bit by a Hawaiian fruit bat.
Bit by a radioactive Hawaiian fruit bat that gave him amazing bat powers and also the ability to play the ukulele like a fucking boss.
And bake really well.
Yes, these are his powers. He can also sing a really sad rendition of Somewhere Over the Rainbow. And people love it. And me, I'm just like, I've heard worse ideas.
Hey, if it works, it works.
If it works, it works. Maybe 2019 is the time where we need Hawaiian Batman more than ever. Maybe that's what we will need to heal as a nation and come together. Hawaiian Baker Batman.
He will bring all races and religions and credos together.
Under Pope Josh Gad and Hawaiian Batman, the world will be saved. This is funny because this is just the sort of humor you could expect from a Plastic Man movie, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
Again, too, Plastic Man, interesting, but I agree with you, Matt. Until I see the first trailer, until I see them filming, I don't believe it.
Yeah. Oh, it'll just go in that pile with all the that ever-growing pile of all these other movies that are getting made. Before they even they announce these movies before they even announce, we're going to do another Superman movie. We might do a Batman movie. We don't know yet.
Because even just to me as a fan, like a Plastic Man movie sounds like a good idea in your head and looks good on paper, but when it actually comes time to make it, you're like, fuck.
Yeah, what do we do?
Because, like, let me ask you this: who does Plastic Man fight? Who
Yeah,
are any of his villains? Who are any of his supporting characters?
yeah. What's
You
his
don't.
drive?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, what is his drive? Again, see, you don't know. Most of you listening to this are fans and you know your stuff, but I bet most of you, even under pressure, like gun to your head, couldn't tell me anything about Plastic Man. Because again, we like Plastic Man when he shows up in things. He's a great
Yeah.
comedic foil. Justice League Action, I thought, used him to great effect, where he just comes in and he sounds like Paul Lynde.
Yeah, yeah. Injustice used him really well because he wasn't particularly a character; he was a plot device.
Yeah.
He was needed for a specific thing, but you don't make a whole 2 hour movie about that.
Same with Dark Knight's Metal. He was a plot device there, too.
Yeah, yeah,
He can either be comedic relief or a plot device.
yeah. He can't be a main character.
I mean, he kind of can, but even that's rough too, because like all the stories I can think of Plastic Man are just his origin story. Gail Simone did a version recently, which I actually wasn't a fan of, which I hate to say because I love Gail Simone so much, and it was just his origin again.
Yeah, yeah. All the interesting stuff happens before he gets the powers.
Yeah, that he's a reformed criminal who gets a bunch of chemicals spilt on him so he can stretch, so he becomes a hero, but the other heroes don't trust him.
Yeah.
Again, that's like one movie's worth of material.
Yeah.
It's like, what else does he have? Now, what else do we have going on here? Oh, another movie that again isn't even in development. It's slated. This is going to happen now. This is coming down the pipeline, and we know because when they say this, we know these are happening. Shang-Chi, the Master of Kung Fu, is going to be the next thing for Marvel now. They've already said.
Yeah. Well, this is Marvel Studios, and I tend to believe them more than DC because they actually have a plan, not announcing 20 fucking films a week.
I mean, they have a track record, and also the only time they said something would be a movie and didn't become a movie was in Humans, and that became a TV show. And even then, the only reason that probably happened was because they knew they were going to get the X-Men back.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I heard this Shang-Chi news, all I can think is like, oh, somewhere in a New York loft, Danny Rand cries himself to sleep. But I'm really good at kung fu.
Hey, it'd be the perfect movie to introduce a movie Danny Rand.
It would be. I was gonna say I'd hate to recast, but I'm like, no, I wouldn't actually recast the fuck out of Iron Fist. I'd hate if they recasted the other ones. I don't give a shit about Finn Jones.
Yeah, just recast him.
Recast it. Again, he never takes the mask off. You just see the yellow thing. Hey there, Kung Fu buddy, bye. But yeah, Shang-Chi is interesting because, again, it's like, hey, I don't know if you know this from like a cold, cynical movie studio point of view, but China loves movies.
Oh, fuck,
and they
they ever?
And they spend lots of money on movies, so it's really kind of a no-brainer where it's like, okay, who do we have who's Chinese and a superhero? Oh, Shang-Chi? Okay, we should make something out of Shang-Chi then, shouldn't we?
Yeah, it's kind of a no-brainer, and it's also like a genre that Marvel hasn't tackled yet, like kung fu movies.
Yeah, let's do a kung fu movie. Yeah,
that'd be awesome.
I'm all for this, and also too, something that I think bodes very well for this movie when people are saying like, okay, who should play Shang-Chi? And I heard like a million different amazing choices for Chinese actors and international film actors who I've never even heard before, and they all look great, and they can all do their own stunts and their own fight choreography, and I'm like, fucking okay.
Yeah, and then everyone's like, keep Louis Tran away from this role.
Yeah, he can back off, sir.
And I agree. Yeah, keep him away.
I actually heard some people too when they were pitching directors. It's like, oh, can Gareth Evans do this? Can the Raid guy do this? And I'm like, oh, that'd be great. But also, I think much like Black Panther, I think they want to keep this an entirely uniquely Asian project.
Yeah. I think that we're gonna end up with like an Ang Lee or someone, or maybe a big like Chinese movie director or something who's directed like all their big kung fu films or something.
Yeah, get the dude who did Ip Man.
Oh yeah, what's his name?
His name escapes me, but I bet he could do that shit in his sleep, where he's like, I've already written it. It's already done.
We got Donnie Yen here.
There you go. It's done. I've done it. Man, again, I'm glad you mentioned Ang Lee there, Matt, because I heard a lot of people mention Ang Lee, and I'm like, man, that would be such a fucking Marvel move to be like, hey, he did the Hulk movie no one liked, and then all these years later, we got him back, and he launched the biggest Chinese hero of all time.
Could happen. It could happen.
It could very much happen. And again, much like I'm sure Ang Lee would do, it's like, oh, and I made it kind of art house too. I'm like, oh yeah, you had some nice color palettes there and everything. You told a story with colors and everything. I appreciate that. It's very Raise the Red Lantern. Actually, hey, does Jet Li direct? He directed what was it, Fearless or something? I feel like he directed one of his own movies. Like he pulled a Clint Eastwood. And he directed a wushu movie I really enjoyed. Was it called Fearless or Undefeated? Oh God, it was really good. He plays he plays like a kung fu master who's a dickhead later in life, and he has to like go away and like learn humility and come back, and it's really solid.
He's directed one film back in 1986.
Really?
Yeah.
God, I thought he directed an. Okay, maybe he didn't direct. Maybe he just produced it. Maybe he produces.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a good. Get the guy who did that. That was a good one. Joe likes that one. There's a world of possibility for Shang-Chi. Although something that often gets brought up in this, and that is, will Disney be willing to deal with the whole can of worms that is Shang's father, Fu Manchu?
I think if they do, they'll probably pull like an Ancient One sort of thing with it.
I had a pitch, and I'm like, just say his dad's the Mandarin.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
Because you get the Mandarin back in this now. The quote unquote real Mandarin you were teasing. You get to scoot around. The implied racism issue of Fu Manchu, and also you get to scoot around the other way, the rights issue, because Disney does not own the rights to Fu Manchu.
Mm-hmm.
Someone else owns the rights to Fu Manchu. The family of the guy who wrote the original story, and goddamn, Fu Manchu is just so amazingly weird because he's a totally racist caricature of a Chinese man written by someone who had never been to China and never met any Chinese people.
Well, you know what you do? You go like, yes, that was like a persona, but like it was one that was embellished over the years. Right. Like it was never like a real thing, but it was like some type of embellishment by like the East or the West or something,
Right. They got my character wrong.
Yeah, because I've never been seen or something.
Right. There's also some other characters you could pull up too. The Yellow Claw is another guy who is a total Fu Manchu-ish dude that Marvel owns the rights to. There's places they can go with this, although part of me almost wants them to use Fu Manchu, because as we saw with Ryan Coogler and the Man-Ape in Black Panther, where it's like, hey, you can reclaim anything if you're good enough. Yeah. And you can actually make it awesome.
Yeah.
You can do it.
Yeah.
And I also just kind of like the weird idea of Fu Manchu existing in the Disney Marvel universe. Because again, there's a whole series of Fu Manchu movies out there. Nicolas Cage was Fu Manchu in a Rob Zombie trailer for Grindhouse, but still it counts. No one can tell me it doesn't count. And hey, speaking of weird-ass pulp heroes potentially joining the Marvel Universe, that's an excellent segue. They spilled the beans this week. Avengers No Way Home is going to be starting soon, and they said that they were going to be bringing back a character, much in the same way they brought Hulk back for No Surrender, and they let it slip, Matt. They let it slip who that character is going to be.
They did, and it's going to be Conan.
Conan the goddamn Barbarian is coming back to the Marvel fold, and I say back because Marvel used to own the comic rights to Conan. So he is actually coming back, and that just a world of ideas open up in my head where it's like, okay, how are they going to explain this?
It's definitely going to be something very interesting. It's even more interesting because I know Jim Zub, like, because people had like concerns, like, oh, this is what's going to happen with this. He did say that like this is going to be. It's going to be in the same continuity, but it's going to be separate from Jason Aaron's run. Like, Jason Aaron's run's really self-contained, no crossovers or anything. It's doing its own thing, whereas this is like current year Conan, This is Conan in 2019, where he's joining the Avengers and stuff, whereas that one's, its own story, probably set in the past.
Just such insanity. Conan
Yeah.
is potentially going to be joining the Avengers, which also begs the question, does that mean they could use him in the movies down the line? Just Arnold Schwarzenegger shows up as King Conan in the
Oh
next
God,
Avengers.
that'd be interesting.
Because Schwarzenegger says he's been trying to make that King Conan movie forever now.
Yeah, now Marvel Studios is King Conan.
Marvel Studios presents King Conan. Oh my god, that would be because it's like you think of a character who is so very un-Disney, and Conan the Barbarian comes to mind. He's always killing or fucking or kill fucking in his high fantasy adventures.
But I'm really interested to see how when does this event start? It starts in the new year, doesn't it?
Yes, I think early next year.
Okay, yeah, I'm really interested, especially because like it's not all the normal Avengers, not your Iron Man, your Thors, and everything. It's like it's like the backup team, or like Hercules, Voyager, and all these like kind of like B, C, D list characters.
Which in fairness, so was No Surrender, but No Surrender kind of tricked you, where it's like, oh yeah, it's all the Avengers on all the teams together. Yeah, but all the AAA guys got frozen.
Mm-hmm.
But it's everybody. But you're following Lightning though, and Living Lightning's gonna be the coolest guy. Which was really clever action. One of the things I really loved about No Surrender. They trick you in the best way.
Yeah.
Also, too, hey, yeah, what's up with Voyager now? Getting to see her come back.
Yeah, that's gonna be really cool. Maybe she's the reason they can get Conan.
That's true, because she can teleport anywhere.
Is Conan actually there? Because she can put memories in people's heads.
That's true. She's just a big fan of the movie.
Yeah, she's a big Conan fan. We need him on the Avengers. Oh, he doesn't exist. Oh, I'll make everyone believe he does.
He does now. Well, geez, if you're just making characters who can come join... Hey, can Rambo come join? He sure can. What about Rocky? That's the same dude, but okay. Ooh, give us John McClane now. Give us the version of Expendables we wanted, not the crappy movie versions we got. Give us the versions where it's just the characters. Can we have Mickey Rourke? Oh, you sure can. It's just Mickey Rourke summons.
Yeah, he's not even playing a character. He's just Mickey Rourke.
Hey guys, I'm Mickey Rourke. What's up with you?
I'm a real weirdo.
Yeah, I could take you in a fight. And I mean, maybe. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to try, but because like if I beat up Mickey Rourke, I'm beating up an old man at this point, and that's not good. But if I get my ass kicked by Mickey Rourke, I'm never gonna live that down. It's just a lose-lose proposition, a fight with Mickey Rourke. I don't want to do that, none. Apparently when he was researching for that role, the wrestler, he picked a fight with Chris Jericho, the podcaster and former wrestler from Winnipeg.
Doesn't surprise me.
Chris Jericho tells an amazing story where it's like, yeah, I had to like go around him in the car park because I was pretty sure him and his roadies were going to try and beat me up. Oh, that Mickey Rourke. What a character. What a card. But yeah, from there we got another piece of news here, and I think, Matt, this is something that'll relate to you, and actually a chance for me to actually give a little bit of insider information that I know. Is Matt Fraction going to be writing a Lex Luthor book for the DC Black Label?
Ooh, I hope so. I heard this rumor, I'm like, oh yes, please, yes.
This has been kicked around. That's the rumor, and I mean, Black Label has to put out a second issue of anything first before I'll get really excited about this.
Oh, Batman Damned is meant to come out this week, or did that get pushed back?
I have no. It might have. I don't know until it's in my hand.
There was more dicks in it.
Yeah. Oh no, there were more dicks in the margins. We forgot. Push it back. Push everything back. Push it back forever. But yeah, that's really cool, mainly because I haven't actually read anything from Matt Fraction in a really long time, and I'd be interested to see him come back.
Yeah, the last thing I read was his Hawkeye run.
Likewise, it feels like it's been forever. And plus, too, his wife is working at DC right now, so, maybe she held the door open for him a little bit and like, hey, get in here, write something.
Yeah, Bendis probably helped as well,
That, too. Again, there's a big changing of the guard where it's like, hey, what if I could get you some DC work?
Yeah, what did you want to write?
Yeah, Luthor maybe? Sure, why not? Black Label. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, that'd be very interesting, and I'd like to see if he does what he did with Hawkeye, but with Lex Luthor.
Now let me blow your mind on this one because I had it on very good authority not too long ago that Matt Fraction was indeed going to be writing something for DC, but it was before Black Label was announced, and it wasn't about Luthor. It was about Jimmy Olsen, actually.
Ooh.
That Fraction had a Jimmy Olsen pitch for DC that they were going to turn into something. Now, the same person who told me this also told me about Bendis writing Young Justice before Young Justice got announced.
Ooh, interesting.
So this person's information has been very solid. But then I thought to myself, I'm like, well, maybe this Luthor book and the Jimmy Olsen book are the same thing. What if his Black Label pitches? What if Jimmy Olsen became Lex Luthor?
Or better yet, what if Jimmy Olsen was investigating Lex Luthor?
That too. That way you could do both. It's the best of both worlds.
Yeah, and it's written like an investigative journalist sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be pretty
I'm all
cool.
for it. I accept it. Again, don't be shocked if this one actually turns out to be real.
Yeah. Oh, it's so cool.
And maybe the reason they haven't announced it yet is that they thought they'd be further along in Black Label than they actually.
Well, they're checking to see if there's any dicks in it. Is there a Jimmy Dick, Lex Dick?
Lex, who's whipping it out? Someone's whipping it out in this book. Now, all right, now Matt, we really love what you're doing here, but why is it on page 63 Jimmy Olsen's hands become 5 dicks for no reason? Artistic choice. Oh. Well, okay then.
Can he maybe wear like gloves or something? Or...
Oh man, this book is great. Why is Jimmy Olsen wearing gloves in half of it? Oh, because his hands turned into penises at that point.
And it's like they did a rush job, so it's just like his hands have just been colored in black. It says like, why do they look so bad? Post stuff. They didn't like the way I was going with him,
This was our compromise, that he had to wear gloves over his dick hands.
Yeah. Why does his hands look like Mickey Mouse hands?
Oh, hello, Luthor. Slap, 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 slap. And that's how Jimmy Olsen defeated Lex Luthor, with his dick hands. And there was much rejoicing, and Superman didn't know what to make of it. But yeah, that's that potential news, everyone. And the last story we have to talk about actually came out of the Game Awards, which I said I wasn't going to watch, but I ended up watching it anyway because it was on and everyone was tweeting about it. But they finally announced Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, long awaited game, but with a little twist, a little caveat, and that is it's going to be exclusive to the Switch.
God damn it. I was so hyped, and then I saw that, and I'm like, oh, god damn it. It's a system I don't have, and don't particularly want to buy.
In other news, Joel put a Nintendo Switch on his Amazon wish list this year. As soon as the news dropped, Joel started pricing Switches. It does look good, though. I'm not going to lie. It looks like the old games, but with new modern tech making everything just look way better.
Yeah, it looks really cool. It looks like the roster of characters that we at least saw in the trailer were really cool, like Inhumans, X-Men, Avengers, all these really cool characters who we haven't seen in games for a long time.
No, not together we haven't. Even the last Marvel vs. Capcom was like, no X-Men.
Yeah.
X-Men don't exist here anymore. Oh, we got the rights back. They totally exist. Put Wolverine and stuff. Not only that, but Wolverine in his classic yellow and blue as well.
Yeah.
So looking like he's always looked and hasn't looked in a while.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty refreshing. Also, Thanos and the Black Order are going to be the bad guys. Yeah, that's a no-brainer.
Yeah, of course.
It's more cosmic because really everything in Marvel is more cosmic these days.
Mm-hmm.
And because this is coming out in the modern age of gaming, there will be a steady stream of DLC characters, I can only imagine.
Oh yeah.
Which, hey, if they handle this as well as they handled that Zelda Dynasty Warriors game, I think will be well taken care of.
Oh yeah, I just hope they don't go overboard with it. It's like all these characters are like coming out launch, but you have to pay for them.
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna make some money off it. I'm sure they are.
Hmm.
I can see it now though. If they're smart, they do it in packs. Of like, hey, it's the street level pack. You get your Daredevil, your Luke Cage, your Jessica Jones in one pack, and then hey, it's your Magic pack. So you get your Doctor Strange and
Hmm.
your Wiccan and your Magic and everything.
Yeah.
Release them in packs, and then you got your Anti-Hero pack.
Hmm. Yeah,
That,
I think they will do that, but the problem is I think they're gonna do too many at once. Maybe.
eh,
I mean, I trust them to do the right thing, but this is 2019 gaming industry,
mm.
which has to monetize everything.
Also, you mean to tell me I can play this on a plane? That's my thing. Whoa, wait. So you mean to tell me I can take all the Avengers with me on a plane?
Yes.
All right, saving my pennies for the goddamn Switch. Obviously, I want the colorful one. I don't want the monochromatic one. I want the one that's blue and the one that's red. I don't want the gray ones. I'm not an animal. I'm a human who likes colorful things and be reminded I'm playing a toy. Actually, it's funny. You talking about modern gaming there and young people. My nephew, he wants a PlayStation 4 this year. He was really badgering his mother about it, but he didn't like. I assumed it's like, oh, you want to play the new Spider-Man, or like, oh, you want to play any of these other games. His mom doesn't let him play M for mature games or even like anything that's like too gratuitous. No,
Yeah.
he wants it for Fortnite, of course.
Oh, gee, and too gratuitous. Oh, Fortnite, where you
Fortnite,
murder everyone and to become a winner.
but it's cartoony violence. Nobody bleeds. It's fine. Also, there's planes now. You learn about aviation. I think the what is it? The popularity of Fortnite truly makes me feel like an old man, where I'm like, I don't have the reflexes nor time for this anymore.
Yeah, yeah. I keep seeing shit about it, and I'm like, no, yeah, you young kids and your flosses and whatever the fuck it's called, and
Yeah. Well, okay. What was the thing that made me laugh? It was a bad joke, but it made me laugh. It was I think you might have retweeted it. It was people. It was a bunch of kids in a cafeteria, and they were doing like the Minecraft dances that they had like completely memorized.
hmm.
And I'm like, oh wow, it's that big, huh? And then the tweet directly under it said something to the effect of, "This is why we need to bring bullying back." And I'm like, oh, that hurts, but also, also like, man, I'm glad I got out of school and I did, because I ain't gonna be learning no Minecraft dances. You kids get off my lawn.
Yeah, you go dance somewhere else.
Yeah, need to go earn some money. Red Dead Online. Need to get some pelts.
I need to hunt for 60 hours to buy a hat.
What is it? If I actually got like my 250 reparation dollars that Rockstar was doing. It's like, hey, here's your reparation money, everyone. Here's 15 bars of gold. Go spend that.
Yeah, go buy a sombrero for 5 gold bars.
Yeah, I know. I bought a suit. I bought a suit with it so I can be a fancy man. And I bought my Val Kilmer mustache beard combo.
I haven't bought anything with it yet. I'm saving it until the actual release.
Probably a smart Probably a smart idea. The thing that gets me is the leveling thing, where it's like, cool, I can get any weapon I want now. No.
No.
But why do the more expensive weapons unlock at lower levels, but I can't get the cheaper weapons until I am a higher level? Because that's how we built it, sucker.
Oh, you want a second holster? You got to be level 300.
Yeah, like 44 for a second holster. Like, but dual wielding is such a big part of the main game. You ain't playing the main game, motherfucker.
You're playing bikers online.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that.
Microtransactions.
They're not microtransactions. They're microtransactions. You have to go talk to that asshole.
Yeah, he'll be slightly racist to you, a little threatening, but you'll get what you want.
That's the twist. You know why? Why is Red Dead Online so cruel? Because Micah's running it. That's the twist. It's just him running the whole thing. Him and his shitty walrus mustache. Oh, that'll be 15 bars of gold, partner, for that. But it's just a duster coat. It should be cheap. No.
Yeah, I'm gonna go shoot up a town.
Yeah. Now get me my pistol. Why is it every time I hang out with you, Michael, we end up killing an entire town? This is bullshit. Dirty rat bastard. But enough about that. Yeah, that's the news for this week, everyone. Some pretty good topics, all things considered.
Yeah.
And from there, we can talk about what we read this week. Didn't read a bunch, but I was really happy with what I did read.
Same. I had like one bad comic.
Yeah. So where do we want to start on this one, Matt?
Let's start with Doomsday Clock.
Yes, let's. This issue probably had the least to do with the actual overarching storyline about the Watchmen and the big mystery and what's going on, and yet this might actually have been my favorite issue.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure why it was delayed a whole week. I have no idea, but yeah, it was really good. Shit actually happened. It took them, 7 or 8 issues, but stuff is finally happening.
Yes, the slow boil has happened, and now shit is boiling.
Yeah, and that shit is firestorms causing trouble in Russia.
Mm-hmm. With president not named, but is clearly Putin.
Yeah, he's clearly drawn as Putin.
I love that, where it's like, really, guys, you're gonna draw a guy who looks just like him, but you're not gonna have the balls to say his name.
Yeah. Just if you're just gonna do that, just do like no name Russian guy.
Yeah, have nondescript guy. Don't go for topicalness if you're not gonna go all the way on it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a fun story. If Firestorm screws up in Russia, and Superman has to clean up his mess, and we learn a lot about the state of metahumans in this world. We actually get to see Black Adam's refuge for metahumans.
Yeah, his Kandak refuge, where all the mostly villain metahumans live.
Yeah, but not all. He says he's letting in refugees from all over the place. The scene I loved to death, and it actually made me laugh, and I never thought I'd laugh reading Doomsday Clock. It's the bit where Superman is like, oh, Firestorm, I got to talk to him. I got to work this out. I'm going to fly to Kahndaq with super speed with, fire in my eyes. And he gets there, and Giganta is there and stops him. And he looks up at Giganta, and he stops flying, and he just starts walking. He's like, okay.
Yeah, I know where I am now. I could just be, I'm not going to start shit.
All right, giant lady. Okay. Black Adam making a lot of solid points in this issue too, where Superman's like, oh, and Black Adam, I swear, if you're harboring Firestorm and getting involved in the events of other nations, I'm gonna be really mad, Mister. And Black Adam's like, what? You mean like you're doing right now?
Yeah, you do that all the time.
Yeah, he basically just motherfucks Superman. He's like, yeah, you fucking hypocrite.
Yeah, you do it all the time. And Super's like, yeah, well, I don't kill people, so yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Black Adam's like, I don't see you taking in Syrian refugees. I don't see you building a utopia where metahumans and non-metahumans can live in harmony. No, that was all me, but I'm the bad guy.
I'm the one who's the villain.
Yeah, because my name is Black Adam. It's not Nice Guy Adam. Not Super Adam. But yeah, that's super fun. You feel really bad for Firestorm in this issue because he does a bad thing and then he just comes apart at the seams for the rest of the issue.
Yeah, he's kind of going crazy, and there's like a heap of theories about that. Like, because obviously we get that Russian hero who's like a shadow, kind of like
Posar
phases through him, and like suddenly Dr. Steiner's gone from his mind, so it's literally just Robbie in there, and usually it's both of them, and it's. Like, it is because of that is his powers, because usually it's two minds. The power's too much for him, and that's why he exploded. And
people who are more Firestorm experts than me too saying that he shouldn't be able to manipulate organic matter, but here he is.
Yeah, like, and then like, well, at the end of this, we get kind of a reveal that that's not Firestorm, but again, that's something that could be. It has many theories. Did Batman mean that's someone posing as Firestorm? Is the explosion not made by Firestorm, but made to look like it was made by Firestorm?
Exactly. A lot of people got very heavy into like punctuation, where they're like, no, Batman isn't saying that's not Firestorm. He's saying that's not Firestorm's doing
Yeah.
in what's happening right now. Also, the explosion is big and blue like Dr. Manhattan as well.
Yeah, and also we had like we only got him in two scenes. One at the which is actually really cool because he was the first panel and he was the last panel, and it's Ozymandias breaking into the White House or something, and then the last
It's really easy these days. They leave the door unlocked and the
yeah
windows open.
yeah, and then the last panel, it seemed to imply that he might have been in Russia because there was like a set of that like Russian soldiers' armor on the chair behind him, and maybe that was his doing. Like he put like a Dr. Manhattan tachyon or something on Firestorm or something.
They seek to be implying that he's trying to recreate what he did in the Watchmen universe. Yeah. That is, if I can create a big enough catastrophe, the world will come together in peace, even though clearly that didn't work, because by the 1990s, the Watchmen universe was fucked when the secret was revealed.
Yeah. So yeah, lots of really cool stuff happening in this issue, and as well, we get like Lois investigating the JSA.
Finally.
Yeah, well, and she has no idea who they are, but we actually get to see them as well for a split second.
That's nice. On a strange flash drive, I love that she puts it into her computer and she's like, I don't know who any of these people are. Which is such a great punchline to be like, oh, someone messed with my desk. Oh, someone left me a mysterious flash drive. I don't know who these JSA people are. But yeah, I really like Doomsday Clock number 8. Again, it's probably the most self-contained. I like it because Superman finally got to get involved after 8 issues.
Yeah, he's finally getting involved. They finally. I wonder if that, like, I know we've theorized in the past, like, oh, this is probably because of like Rebirth ending and Dio coming, but I'm wondering if maybe that's like they had to rework his role, like Superman's role in it, because they're like, oh fuck, awesome. Bendis is doing all this other shit, and we've got to rework it from that basically.
It could very well be possible because, again, issue 1 of this sought to imply that Dr. Manhattan killed Superman's parents during the New 52, and that's why he got all dark and gritty for a minute.
Yeah, that's like why the New 52 happened, because he, played with the universe and made it darker and more Watchmen-y and whatnot. But yeah, that nothing's come back to that. Nothing's come back to that.
Nope. I hope that what this is all ultimately leading to is a confrontation between Superman and Dr. Manhattan. Well, they basically said as much, but Dr. Manhattan's like, look, if I look at Superman, either he kills me or the entire universe ends around us, because as soon as I saw him in my vision, everything went black.
Yeah.
Which that's a hell of a friggin' ultimatum there. Either you will kill me, the unkillable God-Man of the Watchmen universe, or we'll destroy the entire universe.
Yeah, very interesting. It's got, what was this, 12 issues? It's got like 4 issues left.
Yeah.
Whew. Hopefully there's no more delays. Please, no more delays.
Don't worry, Matt. By 2020, we'll be able to see how it all ended.
Yeah, we'll be able to buy it in trade.
Yeah, really. God damn. But yeah, that was Doomsday Clock, and Doomsday Clock was really solid, actually, and actually one of 2 really good Jeff Johns books that came out this week.
Yeah, Shazam issue 1 was the other one, and it was damn good.
Do we want to talk about Shazam? Man, Shazam surprised the shit out of me, actually. I am shocked, A, that I liked this one as much as I did, B, that it was as wholesome and child-friendly as it was, especially considering how dark all of this started in the New 52, and C, that this is a direct sequel to the New 52 stuff.
It's kind of a direct sequel, but also it's kind of like, that stuff maybe might have happened, but this is kind of like a reboot, it's kind of reintroducing them into the DC universe as a whole.
Also making Shazam a team book, because it's not just Billy Batson anymore. It's the whole Shazam family, or the Lightning League, or the Thunder Squad. They couldn't agree on a name.
I did like that, but yeah, it's really great that, like, instead of Shazam, it's the whole family, the whole Vasquez Foster family.
Which is even bigger now than it used to be. I don't know if you got this, Matt, but I got a real, like, kids magical adventure. Like, I felt very, like, Narnia, Harry Potter reading this.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, like, they go through the secret door into the station, which is the hub world for the magical lands,
and also it's like very wholesome kid stuff, but they imply some really dark shit, like they're all foster kids, and heck, even even the backup, and I hope this becomes a thing. We got a little backup essentially giving us the origins of Mary Marvel, and it's drawn in this really sweet, sugary, almost like anime chibi style.
Yeah.
But the actual content is fucking horrifying.
Yeah, with Mary like escaping her abusive parents and sleeping
sleep
on the streets and whatnot, and yeah.
At Christmas time.
Yeah.
It's like really dark, but the art is really sweet, and then like at the end it has a happy ending, and I'm like, oh wow, that's really good. I hope they keep doing these.
Yeah, it'd be really cool if each one of the like Freddy and Eugene and all that get like a little one shot that sees like how they got to the Vasquez home or something.
I get the feeling that's what they're gonna do, because they never got much backstory, even in the previous New 52 one in this. But yeah, Shazam, man, this was good.
This was good, and it had a really good cliffhanger ending.
It did, yeah. A dude shows up claiming to be Billy's father, and he obviously looks like Shazam, because that's supposedly the thing that, you know, when he says the magic word, Billy becomes an adult version of himself.
How fucking awesome would it be if it's like, oh, this is like Fawcett City Captain Marvel.
That I heard people have that theory that that's actually Captain Marvel who came from another universe. And it's like, look, I'm not really your dad, but I'm also kind of you, where the rules were different.
Yeah.
I would be A-okay with that. I think that's actually super cool.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah, but yeah, Shazam, man, what a pleasant surprise this series was. I'm actually super on board with all of this now.
Yeah, definitely. But you know what wasn't a surprise?
Do tell.
Batman issue 60.
Matt, do you love poetry? Do you want to read page after page of William Blake and Shakespeare? Because Tom King thinks that's what we want.
Yeah, which is definitely... I'd prefer a coherent story. I will pay him whatever he wants to just get a coherent story.
No, Penguin and Alfred need to sit down for multiple pages and debate the actual meaning behind Shakespeare's Phoenix and the Turtle poem.
Yeah, while Batman viciously assaults criminals for not knowing a simple thing.
Also, Batman, did you not have a whole story where you realized that beating up villains to near death was wrong and you had to rig a whole trial to assuage your guilt? I guess you learned nothing.
No, I didn't learn anything at all.
And then we got Gordon here, who seems to be the slowest cop in all of Gotham, where it's like, hey, Harvey, give me them files on that Mr. Freeze case. Let me look into that. You're only looking into this now.
Yeah, oh no, Batman did something wrong.
It seems like a pretty big thing, Jim. You probably should have been looking into that. Also, oh, did you hear he beat up Bane and left him for dead? Oh, really? That was in Russia. How did you know about that? Oh, well, some spies were watching, and they told us.
Oh, that was like the best, because like we got that like KGB story, and we learned that like obviously he's out in the middle of a tundra, like it takes like days to get there on foot because you can't take planes, and the FBI was just watching this house. Just watching this house.
Do they say FBI or do they say spies? And also
they say the feds, and I just mean like probably FBI, probably.
If the feds were watching the KGBs, why did they not try and stop him during the assassination and all the illegal things he was doing, like entering America illegally?
How did they help him? Because it took Batman days. Like he said, it would take days to walk out of there. They wouldn't be able to have a helicopter or cars or anything.
It was drones. It was satellites, probably.
How would a satellite see through a fucking snowstorm?
Special CIA stuff. I don't know. Again, too, it's like, and I'm sure that was Tom King thinking he was really brilliant, being like, oh man, how did the cops figure out of this? Oh, the spies told them. Okay, but if the spies know, why didn't they stop them? Because Bane infiltrated the CIA too.
Oh God, is that going to be thing? Bane is president now, and
that seems to be the thing whenever there's a plot hole. No, Bane did it.
Part of Bane's plan. Part of Bane's plan.
It's the greatest, most layered plan in all of history. He did everything.
I remember the other week where Batman beat up Bane. I actually like went back and like tracked back all through the things that like throughout up to issue 59 of all the things that were meant to be Bane. It's just like shit that like Bane wouldn't even know. Like in this issue, what the fuck is Flashpoint Batman there? I remember we thought like it was just like an illusion, but it's a real thing. It's a fucking real thing.
He's very much real.
How does anyone know who Flashpoint Batman is?
And also a bunch of people, normally people who have yelled at me and who I've had to ban, be like, no, you're fucking wrong. Tom King's Batman story is great. That's not Flashpoint Batman. That's Hugo Strange dressed as Flashpoint Batman. But then why is Hugo Strange over here, though? Yeah. And also he calls him father in this book. So it clearly is him.
Yeah, it's not like an illusion or anything like that. It's his, and then that's another thing. The last time we saw Thomas Wayne, the Flashpoint Batman, he's like, oh, I love you, son. You know, don't be Batman anymore. Go live your life. But now he's like, I'm gonna fucking beat up my son. I'm gonna beat up fucking Alfred.
You know, we theorized when we read the button where it's like, I don't think Tom King wrote all of this. No, I don't think they wrote what they. It was Johns and Williamson. Now, as time goes on, I'm like, yeah, I'm actually certain Tom King didn't actually write the button. They just put his name on it.
Yeah, to probably sell.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Can we talk about Gordon? Because Gordon has an interesting journey here, and he has a moment that should be good, and any other moment in any other run probably would be really good. He decides, you know what, Batman's a loose cannon. He's unreliable. He's dangerous. I can't trust him anymore. I have to destroy the bat signal. And it should be a great scene. And it's drawn very well and it's rendered really well. But in the back of my mind, as a person who has read Batman forever, all I can think is like, really, Jim? This was the final straw that he hit you? It wasn't the death of your second wife, Sarah Essen. It wasn't the death of all the children Batman keeps around. It wasn't the fact that he inducted your own daughter, your only child. Oh, well, your only good child. You have a son, too. You're only a good child into a life of crime fighting that, you know, got her crippled and maimed and everything else. This was the thing that pushed Batman. This was too much for you.
Yeah, him it's storming into Arkham and beating up a known villain and then punching you. This is what set him off.
Also too, Batman, I'm the world's greatest detective. I can figure out anything. I'm so goddamn smart. Okay, if you're so smart, then why can't you make any connection to the fact that you're acting like a crazy person and playing into Bane's plan by making yourself look like a fucking jackass?
Also, he's doing all this shit. Where are the rest of the Bat family? Why aren't they coming in and being like, Bruce, dude, fucking chill out, mate?
Well, Nightwing
Where's
has
Superman?
brain dead.
Where's the Justice League?
Yeah. Well, I can tell you, Matt, what is it? This actually fits perfectly with the darker DC universe. Nightwing has brain damage and doesn't know who he is, and no one seems to be helping him. Damian is busy running a black site Abu Ghraib prison completely illegally. I don't actually know what Batgirl's doing. Apparently her book is good, but I'm not reading that one. Everyone else is on the Outsiders.
Tim is off on Young Justice in another universe.
There you go. Superman is jumping back and forth between Phantom Zones and not seeing his wife. So there you go. That's why.
But what's Wonder Woman's problem? She's busy helping the new reborn Ares.
I get well. If you remember, If you remember Tom King's take on Wonder Woman, it was goddamn awful, and she was horrible. So
yeah, she's probably lucky she's not here.
Yeah. Like remember, again, it's been so long ago now, but remember like Tom King's version of Wonder Woman was just him and Batman, or her and Batman sitting around talking about how they could beat up Superman.
Yeah, I remember that.
So she's just planning ways to beat up Superman, apparently.
Yeah. Oh, also another thing. So like Penguin is like in the Batcave and he's like blindfolded, so he can't see where he is and everything. Doesn't know who Alfred is or anything. Bruce just comes into the cave and just starts yelling, Alfred.
Man, it's a good thing Penguin was already passed out.
Alfred, the man that Penguin was assigned to kill.
To kill.
So if he was smart, he would probably put two and two together.
In fact, he should already put... Well, again, we were talking about this too. They kind of implied that Penguin already knew that Batman was Bruce Wayne. Or at least he would have, because why would he care if Alfred got killed outside the fact that he wouldn't want people to die? But they blindfolded him in the cave, but maybe is that just so he doesn't know where the cave is? And also that strengthens the theory that yes, indeed, that is Thomas Wayne, because only Thomas Wayne would know where the Batcave was.
Mm-hmm.
That tracks at least. Credit where credit is due to Tom King. That bit at least tracks.
Yeah, which makes me think that's probably like one of the first things he wrote, and then it's just whatever else, crayons everywhere.
Also, Penguin talks more about his wife Penny, but like he uses the word bill and feathers to describe her, and I'm like, is he just being poetic, or was she actually a fucking penguin?
Did Oswald fuck a penguin?
And then did Bane murder a penguin to
Oh, wait, if that's gonna be it, I'm gonna give the book a 10 out of 10. If that ends up being it, I'll just be bravo.
That's what
His
they
master
seek to be
plan
implying.
was to murder a penguin.
That's what they seek to be implied, but then I'm like, no, but they buried Penny in a people's graveyard because her tombstone said, beloved wife and daughter. And I'm like, well, a penguin can be a wife and daughter too, but why would you bury a penguin in a people's cemetery?
They also mentioned her father, who ran a company or something, or like wanted to see. Maybe her father was like a really angry penguin.
I know,
and wanted an audience with Oswald.
Because he describes her like a penguin, and I'm like, okay. Or is he just really sexually attracted to penguins, and he saw the penguinish features in this woman?
I don't know. And again, like we get nothing that makes us want to like know more about Penny. Like who gives a shit? She's dead. We don't like. You meant to tell us and make us care for her before you kill her, not after the fact. Not after like, oh yeah, I should probably just do this.
Yeah, you're doing it backwards. But yeah,
God.
that's another week, another Tom King Batman story. Wah wah.
Yeah, at least in this coming week, I think there's like a Batman annual, so it's like multiple writers. So we'll have some good stories. I think Tom Taylor's doing a story, so that'll be.
And
good.
Also too, I will admit, for all my griping, I'm super stoked for issue 61 because I am dying to hear the explanation of how and why Flashpoint Batman is involved in this.
Oh yeah.
Because either A, it's going to be a good reason, I'll be like, oh, okay, that makes sense, or it's going to be a terrible reason.
It's 60 issues in, and you're still saying it's going to be a good reason. Come on, it's not going to be, or we won't even get a reason.
Exactly, or we could do the classic Tom King thing, and Batman will just never ask his father why he's involved with this, and he'll be like, "Oh, isn't it interesting that Batman never asks?" No, it's not. It's stupid. Any rational person would have asked the obvious question right out of the gate, and that is what the fuck is going on.
World's greatest detective
can't find his ass in a snowstorm. But yeah, that was Batman, everyone, and it is what it is. What can I say? It is what it is. Now, what else did you have, Matt? I had two other books.
I actually read Martian Manhunter issue 1 this week.
Okay, there was a lot of new number ones this week. I was either going to read Shazam or Martian Manhunter, and Martian Manhunter can't keep a book to save his life, so I chose Shazam.
I don't know. I think this book might stay around because it's really interesting. Is it
an ongoing, or is it just another mini?
I'm not actually too sure.
I thought it was a 12-issuer.
It might be, but it might extend maybe if it's good.
Could be. Tell me all about it.
Yeah, so this issue sees John kind of remember his life as Detective John Jones, running down some type of killer that might be from Mars. He's not too sure. We're given a couple of clues throughout this issue that it might be from Mars, while also we get to see his life as a cop on Mars. And we find out that he was a pretty fucking corrupt cop.
Oh.
We see him. He's beating up criminals for not giving him enough money from their take. He's basically
sprinkling small amounts of space drugs.
Space crack. Yeah. He threatens them with like, the big thing is like they don't get arrested or anything. They get frozen in one particular form, so they can't shapeshift. So they are stuck in one form. Like all the other criminals. So he threatens them with that and everything, and he's keeping secrets from his wife and everything, and he's kind of a bad person. A very like he's setting up white Martian fist fights and whatnot.
Oh, damn. So he's
Yeah.
racist too.
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense because the problem with writing any Martian Manhunter story is like, oh, good-natured final survivor of a doomed race. Oh, so he's Green Superman then?
Yeah.
I guess you have to change him a little bit so you're not just writing Green Superman.
Yeah, and he's and I guess what they're trying to do, they're showing that life, and then they're showing like his life as Detective John Jones, where he's trying to atone for all of that, and
Also makes sense.
be a better hero and everything. But the issue ends with like him sort of crashing his car with his partner, and the fire the car starts makes him change into Martian Manhunter, and his partner doesn't know he was Martian Manhunter, so she's like freaking out. She's got this weird alien thing morphing in the seat next to her and whatnot. It was really cool, and the artist as well. I can't remember what the artist's name, but he's totally suited for a green Martian Manhunter book where you get like weird shapes and weird aliens and everything. Looks really cool.
You're kind of selling me on this one, honestly.
It's really cool.
I like police procedurals. I like that they made Martian Manhunter a police procedural.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of,
what did I again?
Go ahead.
Oh no, I was done after you.
I was gonna say, speaking of police procedurals, Green Lanterns, the Green Lantern issue 2 was this week. That's police procedural as well. The whole issue was Hal interrogating a spider pirate.
Oh, cool. Oh, I like that. The guy who dressed like Adam Ant from the previous issue.
Yeah, and yeah, it's just like him trying to get answers of like what the fuck's going on, like with the controllers and Evil Star, the old Green Lantern villain Evil Star comes back for a hot second.
How very Grant Morrison.
Yeah, it was really cool. And then at the end of this issue, someone steals Earth. So I'm like, it's kind of like what Bendis just did in Superman.
But we're not going to tell Morrison that.
Oh, you probably saw this. I'll do it better.
I'll fucking do it better. You're doing it wrong, Sonny Jim.
And we got really cool. Like lanterns, like really weird lanterns. There was a lantern from like the old Green Lantern series, which lives in the Obsidian Deep and can't process color. So its lantern is like a bell. And we got a lantern whose name is Volk, and his head is a volcano. I like an actual like erupting volcano, like human body, and his just head's a volcano.
Again, sounds like something Grant Morrison sees when he closes his eyes. He has stopped closing his eyes. Yeah, I wasn't sure to go back to Green Lantern or not. I don't know.
It's a good book.
Yeah. I'm thinking maybe it's not for me, man. Maybe it was not meant to be me and Green Lantern.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, the Green Lantern is like one of those books where like everything is canon.
Yeah, which is what Morrison excels at. Just look at his Batman.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of canon and everything being canon, I actually read something this week that you could describe as retcanon, because it's a retcon, but it's also keeping in canon, and it's making something new canon. I read Killmonger #1 this week.
Ooh, what was that like?
Very fun, actually. It's an origin story for Eric Killmonger. He, of course, looks 100% like Michael B. Jordan now, as you might have guessed. They opened the comic in a really interesting way. Juan Ferreira is the guy who does the art for this. He did those green... Yeah, he did those Green Arrow stories I really like. It literally, the first panel is Killmonger on top of the waterfall with Black Panther throwing him off, and it's great because it's a reframing of his first appearance in like the Gauntlet, but also it's framed to look like the movie too. Yeah, so they've like fused them in a really great way. And from there, we just kind of see his life, how his father was killed in an industrial accident by Ulysses S. Claw, and how he moved to America and graduated MIT, but he like basically kept like a little revenge book where it's like, I'm gonna kill this guy, I'm gonna kill this guy. And he does try and take a pot shot at Ulysses S. Claw when he's doing like a human trafficking deal in New York, but a bunch of Kingpin's guys grab him and say, hey, and say, hey, yeah, you can't really kill him because Kingpin is doing business with him right now. So sorry about that. But one of Kingpin's dudes, a guy called King, all of his people have a chess theme.
I wonder. I wonder if Claw's business was that issue of Death of Daredevil where he appeared and attacked Matt at the stadium.
Possibly. Well,
That'd
that
be
was a
cool.
dream, remember?
Oh yeah, yeah, that's true.
That was it was all the dream, as they
Funny
say.
if that was connected though. Like Brian Hill didn't realize that it was a dream.
Also, this is a flashback too, so this takes place
Oh,
before
okay.
even his. This takes place even before his first appearance in Black Panther.
Ah,
But yeah, so he basically Kingpin's guy is like, hey, just because Fisk is doing business with Claw today doesn't mean he's going to be doing business with him forever. How would you like to join our team? And when that relationship falls apart, you'll be in a perfect position to kill Claw.
cool.
And that guy has superpowers, and yeah, it's just a fun little origin story. Feels very much like a movie, which makes sense because that's what Brian Edward Hill has written before, movies and TV.
Hmm.
And again, if you really liked Eric Killmonger from the movie, you're gonna like this too because they're basically just making that dude canon.
Cool.
Yeah, it's fun stuff. Good start.
Awesome.
Yeah, did well on the channel too. I'm looking at the numbers right here. People were interested in it.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah. What else did you have? I had two more.
I had Justice League issue 13.
Oh, I have not read this yet. This looked to be a Joker-centric issue.
Yeah, it was another Legion of Doom part, and we kind of get to see Joker's recruitment into the Legion of Doom and Lex's like reasonings for it. And his reasonings are he thinks that Joker is like the antithesis of like true human nature and of the humankind and everything, because he thinks like obviously the world is falling into doom. Who's the best like person to deal with that? Joker.
Interesting.
Joker's like, I might join, but you better not be fucking working with that Batman who laughs, motherfucker.
Yeah, because I don't trust any Batman, regardless of universe.
That, and as well, I think it seeks to imply he's a little jealous.
Oh, that's it, because he's scarier than me.
And he's kind of succeeded in sort of like defeating Batman, basically. And yeah, we get to see a little bit of like his role and everything, and we sort of pick up a little bit after Drowned Earth, where they need to recruit a new member to fill Black Manta's place. So they like kidnap all these villains like Riddler, Mr. Freeze, Parasite, all these villains.
We're gonna have tryouts.
Yeah, but before they can have tryouts, Joker gasses them all and turns them into like turns everyone in the Legion of Doom headquarters except for Lex into like his personal like thugs and everything, and Lex has to like fight his way through them. And we learn that Joker only joined the Legion of Doom just so he can fuck with Lex's plan at the last minute, just before he was gonna win. That's the only reason he wanted to do it. And he's like, well, you promised us multiversal powers, like, but that's a lot of responsibility. I'd rather just fuck with you, you know?
That sounds very Joker. That's the punchline.
Yeah, it's like, this is my masterpiece that you wanted. And he ends up letting Lex go because he knows that whatever the Batman Who Laughs will do will be 10 times worse than whatever he could do.
Wow, to think Joker is the sensible one in this situation.
Yeah, so he leaves and Lex realizes like, oh, I was wrong. He wasn't like the most advanced intelligence in the universe. I better get on that. I better call up Dr. Ivo and see how he's going rebuilding Brainiac.
Oh, wicked. Getting some Brainiac back in here.
Yeah, so I don't know whether Brainiac will be like whether it'll be like the robot version. I'm guessing it will be because we get to see it at the end, or whether it'll be like the half robot, half Coluan sort of thing we get every now and then, or whether it'll be full Coluan.
I like that Dr. Ivo is rebuilding him too. We haven't seen Amazo in a bit.
Yeah.
We've seen more Kid Amazo than we've seen Amazo.
Yeah.
So that's fun. Yeah, well, that sounds like a great issue, and also so quintessentially Joker. I'm not a team player. I don't play well with others. It's amazing
Yeah.
I've played this long.
Yeah. I just like that it wasn't some overly complicated plan. He's just like, "Oh, I had like a plan that I was just gonna fuck you over," and it was cool because he's like, "I was gonna fuck you over," and I had a plan put in place that would have seen Batman and Superman witness you all die. But I'm
I,
not doing that now because I'm bored.
I'm all about chaos, and you're all about control.
Yeah.
It just never would have worked between us. Yeah, that sounds good. I'm interested to read that now.
Yeah.
Another new number one I read this week, Winter Soldier #1 from channel favorite Kyle Higgins.
I'm looking forward to reading this. It's in my pile.
It's really good, and it's really good because Kyle Higgins does something most writers forget to do when writing Winter Soldier, and that is he gives Bucky Barnes something unique to do.
Okay, what's he doing?
Well, so like in most times when you're reading a Winter Soldier book, it's like, oh, he's more violent Captain America, or like, oh, he's Captain America light. Here, though, he has a job, and that job is he tries to help people escape their dangerous lives. He tries to help a cop who is getting pressured by a bunch of other dirty cops to steal some drugs. He helps a former Hydra agent escape Hydra and start a new life somewhere else.
So he's the equalizer.
He's the fucking equalizer, and it works so well for Bucky because he's like, yeah, I know how important it is to get a second chance to start over. I was a Russian super weapon for years, and now what is it? I'm trying to be a hero, and I'm trying to pay that forward to everyone else.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, very good idea for Bucky. I'm shocked it took them this long to get here.
Yeah.
Sharon Carter is helping him too run back end, which is funny. They even make a joke where it's like, wait, how can you do this and work for Ross over in the Captain America book? And she's like, meh, I'm a master of multitasking. Also, I make sense as a supporting character. Tony is funding them, of course.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Because he's like, yeah, I know what it's like to get a second chance too. I'm on like my 5th or 6th second chance. So here's some money, and here, go fix your arm, go do some things. At the end, too, we're introduced to a brand new assassin who's trying to kill the people that Bucky is trying to save. He's a teenage assassin called RJ, and he says that he's a huge fan of Bucky because his costume is literally evil Bucky, right down to the haircut and everything.
Oh, that's cool.
And I'm like, oh, that's fun, too. So now it's like, will Winter Soldier be forced to kill a kid that looks up to him, or will he try and be like how Cap was to him when he was Winter Soldier?
That's cool.
It's a really great setup. Kyle Higgins is an idea man, I tell you. I hope more people read this book, because I know a lot of the time Winter Soldier books are like, that's a fun idea. No, I don't need to read it, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, Winter Soldier was a lot of fun. Definitely check that one out if you haven't, been fence sitting on it.
Cool.
I know Marvel's been putting out a ton of new #1s, everyone, but this is actually one worth looking into.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what else did you have? I had one more.
That's about it for me.
All right, I'll do this one quickly. I finished the Benson run on Green Arrow. I read issues 46 and 47.
Ooh, I've still got to read them. What was that like?
They are good. You can tell the story was supposed to be longer, though.
Yeah.
You can definitely tell we get resolution on the whole, oh, did Oliver Queen really drive drunk and kill that girl? We get a resolution on that this issue.
Okay.
That's good. We do learn the citizen's identity, who he is, and why he's trying to do. Well, actually, no, that's the problem. We learn who he is, but they never really explain why he bothered to single out Green Arrow the way he did.
Was it? I had a theory while reading like the issue where it was revealed he did the drunk driving. Was it the other guy in the car?
No, the other guy in the car died doing another unrelated drunk driving years later. No, it was a cop. It was a rookie cop who responded to that scene. Yeah.
I was really betting on maybe it's that friend of Oliver's.
That would have made sense. Also, Facebook saves the day and helps exonerate Oliver.
Yeah, of course.
And I'm like, well, shit, that's actually pretty goddamn realistic, actually. But yeah, we find out who the citizen is. He like lashes Ollie to an electric chair, and he gets people all over the world to try and vote on whether or not he should die. And yeah, I mean, it's fun. It has all the points, but they don't give the citizen a reason as to why he did what he did. I feel like that was supposed to be a whole other issue where we would get his origin and the whys.
It sounds like it. Yeah, like you find out who he is, and then the issue after that is like his origin, and then you have the ending.
We get no origin. He's just a guy who got a bug up his ass one day to try people in the court of public opinion.
Oh, okay.
Black Canary gets a great moment too because Citizen doesn't know Green Arrow and Oliver Queen are the same person, even though he's targeting them both at the same time.
Yeah.
So to protect his secret identity, what is it? Black Canary dresses up like Green Arrow and beats up the Citizen, and then like changes clothes with Ollie at the last second.
Oh, that's cool.
It's very fun. Yeah. It's sad to see the Bensons go. You could tell they were probably penciled in for a much longer run, and I'm worried about what's going to happen next.
Yeah. Do we know who's writing next?
Yes, the Gotham Garage team.
Who was that?
Colin something and another guy something. It's two guys writing this one.
Okay, well, that'll be interesting to see what they do. Did they end up doing anything in regards to like the death of Roy Harper? Like, I know like at the end of that issue, like something seemed to have changed with Oliver.
Yeah, that's another thing that got really rushed because Ollie had a letter that he wanted to give to Roy, and he wanted to be the first one to tell him about the new special job he has for the Justice League, watching the box that Martian Manhunter gave him. But obviously, because Roy's dead, he couldn't do that, so he just burns the letter, and we never figure out what he was gonna say.
I wonder if that was like a thing, like they did that funeral issue, but then they're like, no, we're changing Heroes in Crisis, and it's all going to be like simulation or something, or like fake, or
Awesome.
big fake. All these heroes have to come back a little later on to be more extreme and whatnot, and they're like, burn the letter.
I don't get why they're putting a new team on it, and also the by the solicitations I'm seeing for issue 48, it looks like they're dropping everything the Bensons decided to pick up with like Manhunter.
Oh, really?
His lawyer and his relationship with Dinah. This one seeks to be saying like, Count Vertigo breaks out of jail and gives everyone motion sickness in Star City, and can a Green Arrow stop him? And I'm like, well, that doesn't sound connected to any of the other stuff.
That actually sounds kind of boring.
That sounds very trite, actually, and I love Count Vertigo, and that doesn't sound like the most interesting pitch. I mean, I will give it a chance. These people they wrote for Batman and Robin Eternal, and they wrote Gotham Garage, so I mean, I will give them a shot. But man, don't make me drop Green Arrow again. I did it before. I'll do it again. It's my favorite superhero, but I will drop a motherfucker. Because I have too many goddamn books now, and there's too many number ones.
Yeah.
Too much friggin' shit. But yeah, that was everything I read this week.
Cool.
And I guess that's the show then, isn't it?
Yeah.
Alrighty then. So thank you everyone for watching. We really hope you appreciated it. For those wondering what the show rollout is going to look like during the Christmas season, I will tell you. We will be back next week for sure. Hopefully talking about Into the Spider-Verse. Matt might not be able to see it, but he's going to try. I'm definitely going to see it. If nothing else, be sure to come back next week because we will be giving you your dose of Cape TV because we will be talking about the big Elseworld crossover because that's this week.
Yeah, looks really good.
Looks really good. Man, that monitor. Fucking look at that monitor, man.
Yeah. God damn, that's so cool.
Even the last couple episodes that they left on cliffhangers, too. Legends was left on a big-ass cliffhanger.
Well, I don't think Legends is part of it.
Oh, is it really not? Which ones are crossing over then?
Flash, Arrow, and Supergirl.
Oh, really? I assumed it was a 4-night event with all the shows.
No, Legends is sitting it out for some reason.
Oh, really?
Which is a shame. This is a damn shame.
Because they're fucking hilarious, and I want drunken Mick to stumble in and ruin everything.
Yeah, god damn it. Yeah, he kills the monitor.
Yeah. Hey, Batwoman. Hey, Sugar Tits. It's me.
Oh, God. Could you imagine him with Batwoman? Jesus.
Yeah. I'm the heat wave. Rory, stop it. Hey, I'm Constantine. Look at me. Oobity doobity magic. Man, it's so funny to think Constantine on his own show. It's like, oh, you think they're going to talk about his bisexuality? You think they're going to mention any of that? Leave it to Legends. We are leaning right into his Vertigoian bisexuality. Heck, so much for my theory when he kept seeing that black guy in his mind. I'm like, oh, did they recast his guardian angel? Are they bringing that back from his show? Oh nope, it was a guy he loved. Okay, I thought guardian angel, but this is fine too.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll be back talking about Elseworld. Hopefully, we'll be talking about Into the Spider-Verse, and then the week of Christmas, because this show goes up on a Wednesday and Christmas is on a Tuesday this year, you will get the Best of Comic Multiverse, a collection of our finest, funniest, most laugh-out-loud bits. Big thanks to fan Stank Sinatra. He took point on this one and edited it all together, and he did a fucking amazing job.
Yeah.
I listened to it. It's almost 2 hours. In fact, I think it is like 2 hours worth of material.
Ooh, people like them 2-hour shows.
Oh, you're going to love this one. This is great. And then after that, in the new year, our first show back, we'll probably be talking about Aquaman and whatever big comics came out. But maybe Aquaman will be an episode on its own, because I would also really like to do a special commentary that I've been saying we were going to do forever. Mm-hmm. But Matt and I need to coordinate with another guest and work around their schedule as well. But for people who want to return to commentaries, we're hopefully going to do a really special one in the new year. We're going to open with it. You're probably not going to expect what it is.
Yeah.
But I assure you, you'll like it. And yeah, I guess with that, we can start winding the show down proper. Thank you, everyone, for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back again next week. If you are a patron, you will get to listen to this one first in audio and then eventually in video, because Matt and I do them both. And you can do that for as little as $1 a month.
Yeah, it's a great deal.
Yes. Also, hey, Christmas is coming up, so if you want to buy any comic books for yourself or the nerd in your life, please go to our book depository links down in the description. Check those out. Again, it's a great service. You don't pay a cent for shipping and handling. I use it all the time. I actually think they sent me an email recently. They changed the percentage we get when you do buy something. So buy more, please, because I think we actually get less of a cut now than we used to. And that's a shame, because that was one of the more lucrative ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can find all sorts of links down there, Amazon links, all sorts of stuff there. Lots of ways to support the show that Matt and I would very much appreciate.
Definitely.
So yeah, with that, everyone, we'll bring the show to a close, and we will be back again next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.